Hi guys, welcome to Hot Plate. Do you have your cutlery with you because we're about to cook and serve you? And I'm not alone. I wish that I were, but saddled.
Why would you wish that?
Because being with you men
Hey.
raises my blood pressure.
You. First of all,
You are quite excused.
There are people that love to be in our presence. This is a royalty
Go and
presence.
meet those people because I'm not among them.
Abadi, I've tried. Your turn, please.
I'll sit this one out.
Say your piece.
I
Look
mean,
at
I
that.
have peace, but I leave peace with you. Not as the world gives.
They say make you say your own. You deliver with me. Get a CB.
That's enough. Guys, the topic today is we're talking about parenting. Parenting. Parents hurting you without knowing that they have hurt you. Is that the topic?
No. First of all,
Yeah.
parents hurting you without knowing that they've hurt you.
Don't say like that.
But
But it has to do with parenting and being hurt.
yeah, so there's parents in the thing
Yeah.
and there's hurt in it.
Yes.
But then let's go back to this thing that you just said.
Which
Parents
one
hurting
now?
you and not know that they hurt you.
Well,
Because sometimes, no, hold on first. Sometimes, but is it that they did not know that they hurt you? Because I feel like genuinely, some people could just like hurt you and you're hurting. They know you're hurting, but couldn't even care less.
I mean, I feel like most of the time it's not intentional. They're just giving what they have, what they've been given, what they are full of. You cannot give what you don't have, and you will only give what you have. So I feel like sometimes they are really just talking. It's like the most normal thing for them. That's how they've been talked to, and then they talk to you in that way, or they treat you in that way. I mean, of course, I'm sure that there are some that actually do it on purpose. Do you think?
No, so see, sometimes, but no, chill.
From the way this conversation is going, I think that we need to get a pastor, a therapist, a
No.
couple of people in here because
No,
you
we are
guys,
good.
yes, sir.
We seem to be
The
traumatized.
pastor,
It's just
the pastor that you want to bring, is him.
He's traumatized.
Is he
His own
my
parents who have hurt.
Abi, did he not have the whole?
Is he mommy?
Okay, so you're saying that you want your parents to
join the podcast? No, don't join. I want to talk. They come, I will not talk. I won't say anything.
But yes, I mean, that's the conversation today, guys. Parents hurt and what that leads to. What that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Abadi.
I think we called it that they love me but they hurt me.
So why didn't you talk since morning that I've been struggling?
Yeah. I believe in equality.
To be fair, it was good to see you strong.
No. Guys, I don't think I'll be on the next episode of this. Because there's only so much my heart can
So
take.
it's like, you know how we've said, like, if you've grown up in an African home,
Yeah.
rule number one, the Oga Patapata of them all rule is that your parents are never wrong.
That's it.
You are onto something right there.
You
onto
touched-
something.
you
It's been a
touched
couple of
a store.
episodes since you said something deep. I should celebrate this. So is there any wine on the set?
We just do
Why do you think I'm wearing green? I'm ready to go.
Come on now.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're on the right track. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hope you stay there.
Yeah. No, green just as right as Nigeria. Go ahead. You were saying something.
Fresh shit.
Rah.
Any which ways,
They are never wrong.
your parents are never wrong.
Yeah.
Opinions don't really exist.
Yeah, true.
There's a lot you eat in African homes. Aside food for thought, you get to swallow a lot that's on your mind. It's just so I was surprised when people say, "Oh, kwashoko." Yes, there's so much that
There's a lot.
we eat a lot of things. If you are lucky, you can get variety. You can chop slap, your back. It's just so much, but all of it is done in love.
Okay, wait, hold on. Now this one, I don't really agree. I want to be silent and take it in, eat it as well.
When Abadi
But-
said you were talking like you have trauma now.
Hold on
Why-
first. No. No, I'm not even denying it. I have trauma. You see me denying it. I'm not even denying it, bro.
Easy.
But it's like, okay, cool. When you say it's done in love, we are very quick. especially within the within Christian circles, we are quick, to define love when it comes to romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, that thing you're doing is not even love. That thing is lost. You are just infatuated. What is love? God is love. Do this.
Okay.
There is that. Love is decisive. It's a decision. It's not a feeling, and all that. Now, when we are talking about inside the parenthood, inside family, and they do all the person wake up one morning just tear me slap.
Ew.
I never wake up finish self. I'm wondering whether is this a spiritual slap? And is it in the dream I collected? Was it? What kind of love is that? To start with, hold on.
It's discipline. Raise up, train up. What's that scripture again?
You see, peace. The way this thing is going,
He's
a calm guy, but
I feel like if he stoned me,
you know they say this place where you know they say I think
not a safe
I'm
space.
just saying.
No, but chill though. It's like all these things they do, we do, right? Because most of the people who are watching this or who are consuming this, even us, we're there for here. I don't know if you want to have children, no, but I want to assume that we may soon begin. Not we, I'm not talking about you, but this one, your smile is somehow. I'm talking about generally people who they consume the content now. I'm not forcing kids on you, my brother. Only quite a number of soon-to-be parents who could be consuming this. And the thing is, when we do these things and we say we are doing it in love, where does love put the boundary? Because there's supposed to be boundaries in love, especially when it comes to correction, when it comes to discipline. You self, they read the Bible. It's an assumption, right? Because I was listening to you playing audio, this guy, they read Bible. But it's like, inside that Bible that we read, they say, correct, but have boundary, so that the person will not be overly consumed with grief. African parents don't care about that. What is grief? You are eating food in my house, you are grieving. Somebody died.
Are you paying rent?
Are you paying? What do you have to be thinking about?
What are you contributing to this household?
So where are these boundaries? Do they exist?
Eric, just this you see this place you went to, I think that there might be a lot that we cover up in love. That is anger issues.
That love doesn't know anything about.
Love no participating,
anger issues that you've not dealt with.
It's just there's a lot of anger.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, the amount of, in quotes, force that we might see expressed when you're trying to discipline a child in some settings.
Yeah.
If you lean back to rationalize it, some like you wipe some of that force.
I mean, I feel like you're even just talking about physical. There's also the physical, but there's also the emotional abuse. There's the mental abuse. Like, I used to say it that for the longest period, I did not consider myself beautiful physically, and that's because
for a long time. You mean you have stopped?
I mean, look at you. Come on. Come on, feet, Abadi. Come on.
Come on now.
I'm more.
It remained for you to put mayonnaise on top.
Shortbread, but yeah.
Go home.
Oh, Lord.
Go home.
Lord.
You've done enough.
Sorry.
So, I mean, I just recently started to, consider myself. And that's because for the longest period, my mom would say things like, oh, you're so booze. So in my house, we don't say ugly.
Yeah.
You're so booze. You don't smile. You just keep your face. And, again, she was saying that from a place of love.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
From a place of concern. And again, now that I'm older, I understand where it was coming from.
True.
But when I was younger, what that did to me was that it made me have a mindset that, okay, so peace, you are not beautiful. What else do you have to offer the world? So it made me start to build my mind.
Yeah.
So I started to read books. I would read dictionaries. I'll be like, see, if I meet you and you don't first see my beauty, by the time I open my mouth and
you will see beauty.
Oh, goodness.
You will see beauty.
And right now, in retrospect, that it helped me.
Yeah.
Because I like the fact that at least I have sense. And I do not focus on, all I have to offer is beauty. As beauty no day, we don't build something else. But I started to also realize that it affected me a lot. Because I also didn't care about how I looked.
Yeah.
I didn't bother. Because as far as I was concerned, there was nothing to see. Let me talk. Let me talk. So, I mean, it was, and I remember having this conversation with my mom last year, and she was genuinely shocked. She was like, I didn't know that, that was it. And that's why
Yeah.
when I started talking earlier, I was like, sometimes it's, it's unconscious. It's not intentional.
Yeah.
It's regular conversation. I'm really just talking. I don't mean to hurt you. And if you are hurt, I don't know what to do about that because, again, it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
Right? And she kept saying, oh, but I didn't know that was just a joke. It was just a joke. It was just a joke. I'm like, I get you. Now I get you.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it turned out well for me.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, it made me build my mind. But what about other people that would have had this kind of experience?
It's not even other people. It's like, okay, and this is what you get. And I'm not calling parents out, right? It's not my intention. I don't mean to call parents.
You are calling them out.
But every time you have a conversation about this, if you have it earlier in life, what you're going to get is, it wasn't my intention. If you have it later in life, you're going to get, it wasn't my intention. Novice. Right?
Exactly.
With the adult.
Novice, yeah.
But let's look at this. And we're not just having the reason we're having this conversation, I believe, is not for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If we can't learn from these things and move on and do better, especially do better with our kids, then these conversations are just gist,
pointless.
Gossip. It's pointless. So I had a friend say once that the road to hell is often paved with good intentions.
True.
There's always good intentions attached to these things. But the fact that you meant well, does it mean that the hurt did not happen? Do you get what I'm saying? Does it mean that the hurt didn't happen?
It doesn't take away from it.
It doesn't take anything away from it. And that's something that I think that we have to just like consider.
Acknowledge.
And we have to mix knowledge. Yeah? We have to mix knowledge with our intention. Right? I texted TMB over the weekend. And I was like...
Third Milan Bridge.
Yeah,
Wow.
Third Mainland Bridge.
That's what we call you now.
Yeah, the mainland body. So
yeah, because I was going to say, I thought it was the mainland body. Let's take
I texted him over the weekend and I'm like, see, you experience some things in your life, you learn.
Yeah.
If you don't learn, you are a dead person. You are just dead, right?
Why didn't you text me this?
For what? Over what?
Not vex.
So what I asked him was, I just quickly asked him, say this TMB where we they talk, bah? Say you are fine with it.
Yeah.
Do you get? Because we feel they do banter. I've seen this play out plenty times.
Yeah.
Not everybody is as strong as you. Not everybody can. What your first child can take, your second one, your last one, if you no get that mind frame, and you go come they beat them on top, they tell and say, no be your brother they do like this. No be your sister get two head. Do you get? Let me not talk as if I'm talking from pain. I'm not talking from pain. It's not my experience. But I will.
You are touching. Wow.
It's an interesting place you just
entered. You open door, enter.
Wow. It's a very interesting place. I think the parental experience is a very broad one. There's so much that goes on in that conversation. I mean, our first encounter with love and understanding ourselves first is from our families.
Yeah.
And your parents would be the first immediate models you get to experience. Before you get to school, you meet teachers and maybe other students. But a lot happens from the home and your families. Your sense of self-worth, your self-confidence, the perspective with which you interpret the world.
Yeah.
There are some people till tomorrow, they'll have a sense of scarcity and lack because of how growing up was for them. The privilege you have. There's just so much about how your nurturing impacts who you eventually become.
Yeah.
And then now, the people that now parent you would parent you based on different things. Now we've said intentions. There's another place which is how they know best to do it.
Their own experiences. Yeah.
Maybe how they were brought up.
Yeah.
There's probably quote unquote trauma that has been dealt with or not dealt with.
Yeah.
The people that they are listening to and advising them as to the best way to parent you.
Yeah.
Then there's now siblings in the conversation. if you have a sibling who is slightly showing more promise than you or not, and how that interaction will be, my God, it's a collision.
Yeah.
It can be a fantastic place, or it can be a terrifying place, like a circus. It could be either horrifying or, and it's crazy what our experiences are, because like you're saying, many things that happen in that phase of your life, you live with it.
Yeah.
Till sometimes till
death.
The thing is, I don't even think that there's some things that happen in your in a particular phase of your life that you never recover from ever.
You just manage.
And the thing is, you may not even know that anything happened to you.
I'll
give you an instance. Growing up in a time when TV was an abomination in many homes. Real talk.
Some people cannot relate.
Some people cannot relate to this thing. You can't even relate. But now, why was it an abomination? It was legit. Like,
it's taboo.
If a brother visits you and you have TV in your house, they will report you to your pastor. Do you get? Most people cannot relate to this reality.
Yeah. It was reality.
It wasn't my reality, but I saw it play out, right? Now, the intentions behind that were surely good. But then the understanding that you cannot fight. There are systems you can't fight. You must, because the people that you prevented from having TV have phone now.
Yeah. So now what?
So the thing is, you must be able to, if you're going to let certain liberties creep into your home, you must be being a parent is all about attention, right?
Attention.
You must be attentive enough to supervise and moderate. And that also instills in kids the concept of moderation. If you starve a child, they will crave that thing. When they finally get the liberty for it, they are gonna do it. For the longest time, one of my goals, and people who've listened to me speak outside of here know this thing. One of my goals in life, you are not gonna believe this, is to have babe.
To have what? A babe.
Babe.
I like that you don't even get my accent.
Girl.
To have a girlfriend.
Oh,
that was a life goal. Wow. So I went to a missionary school where they were talking about Jesus is coming soon. Rapture is just that we saw a vision, and the time in that clock, there was a big clock in heaven, and the time was 5 minutes to midnight. This was in 99, right? 99. And then when I was in JSS3, that was about, I think, probably about 6 years later or so, another vision happened. They say the time is 2.5 minutes to midnight now. So I calculate the thing in my head. I say, my goal at that point was, this thing people are talking about, I need to enter university.
Yeah.
So because they sent me to school that is also unisex, boys' school, girl, we don't rap with girls and all that. So can I enter university so that I can have babe, experience this thing that before Jesus come? Jesus, please wait, I want to have girlfriend.
Just help my life.
That was my goal in life.
So
the thing is, the concept of moderation, right, is been introduced to people much later in life, and they find it difficult to grasp, to tussling with that, because they were absolutely starved. So let's talk about people that didn't have these sets in their house. They didn't learn how to moderate, number one. Number two, there are many things that went on in that TV box, box, that put other people their ages ahead of them.
Yeah.
And curated their life in a very unique way that people who didn't have that experience, number one, may not have, will never have, and didn't even know they missed out on anything.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss, fam.
Yeah.
Right? So it could have been something I just randomly saw, because it brings a certain level of exposure, next level exposure. Something I just randomly saw on a program, right, could have made me, could have marred me, right?
Sure.
But with supervision, a parent makes sure that I watch things that help me.
Yeah.
At least for a particular set period of the day. Or God, they put eye for me. You get? They put eye for me. And they actually experience this thing. If I come out outside, people they talk, me self they talk. Some people's low self-esteem started there.
Yeah.
Can't speak when others.
People are talking about things you can't be part of the conversation. So you found yourself all through childhood, you are not contributing. You grew up into this guy, you're calling yourself an introvert. No, you are just abused. You are suffering trauma. You don't even know. Once again, I'm gonna leave it here.
Wow.
Because it sounds as if I'm disgraced.
Wow, Eric.
We may need to book a session for you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I was working on that already.
Oh, Nadi, you chatting with your therapist.
Okay, for
To
yourself.
set me up.
I just saying. Just saying. I'm wearing shades for a
This-
particular reason. But you know what?
But I mean, but before you continue, because I feel that another thing that this whole parenting trauma in quotes has done to our generation is that we now have people on the other end of the extreme
Yeah.
that let me not put my kids through what my parents put me through.
Yeah.
And then you are raising spoiled kids.
Do that. Absolutely.
I feel like at the end of the day, there just needs to be a balance. And just like you said, like the point of parenting is attention. Pay attention. Pay attention to what has come out of you. One kid is different from the other.
Absolutely.
Realize what makes this one tick. So one thing my mom used to say a lot was that, so I cry a lot. I'm known as a town crier. So, and that's because all my emotions bring tears. And my mom used to say, oh, I don't understand why you cry so much because I don't cry. And I'm like, okay, you don't cry, but I cry. And that is supposed to be okay. It should be fine.
Yeah.
Now I have a feeling that when I have kids, I don't want them to be crybabies because I know what being a crybaby in quotes did to me. Do you understand? And I realized that it's something I'm conscious about. Like it's in my mind and I'm being active about trying to unlearn that whole thing because I know what it can turn you into. As I said, you experience this, and when you have kids, you don't want your kids to experience the same. Yeah. And then you don't know when you are also on that extreme end of the whole thing. Balance.
Absolutely.
Pay attention. Back to you.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kidding.
No, the thing is, Abadi, why are you pretending you don't have trauma?
So
let me tell you how you will know. Anytime his voice goes
Chat
low,
to me, bro.
anytime his voice goes down,
the thing is not like I don't want to talk. It's just if I go there.
how will you come back out?
You feel begin cry for sets.
So you see this thing she said, you literally just took my mind to, there's a series on Netflix, New Amsterdam. Shout out to that series.
I've heard about it.
There was this doctor who lost his wife and then he was going through a lot at work. And then somebody came to him and was advising him, grieve, you need to grieve. I've also lost my wife. Then he said, my fear is that. So his wife died and he had a baby.
Okay.
So he was like a single parent now to this little baby. He said his fear is that if he goes into grieving, he may never come out of it. What she said now just took me there. Sorry, come back.
You still grieve, Sha. You still.
You will find a way eventually.
No. What I mean is, there are some things that you lock up, right? You damn yourself, in quote, right? At some point, you will still grieve, but it's like, hold on, let this baby survive
first.
Thrive first.
Let's pass this.
People have their different ways.
Yeah.
There's no universal formula for handling these things. Anyways.
Yeah.
There was something else I wanted to add to that. On the issue of the self-esteem thing, right? One of the things that growing up in African homes has done to us growing up has. I know I like to be grammatically sound.
You are doing well.
Okay, but wait though.
This has to learn from some.
Plural.
No, it's the subject.
The
subject is one of the things that
Growing up in
you are carrying me away. Let's not do that. One of the things that growing up in African homes, right? One of the things that growing up in an African home has done to
gentlemen.
You're not nice. You're not nice. Anyway,
go ahead, yeah.
Has done to
Us.
us people is it has a way, and this only a few people escapes this. It has a way of affecting your voice.
Yeah.
Right? It has a way of affecting your voice because a common denominator in many African homes today is the lack of respect for personal opinion, especially if the person who who is now asserting himself to or claiming to have a different opinion is somebody that you are responsible for. How dare she? How dare he have a contrary line of thought,
Challenging.
and it boxes a lot of people in.
Yeah.
And there are lots of people who are creatives now that do not even know that they are operating way under their potential as creatives, because you grew up for a decade, for two, under people who did not give you expression. People think creativity only comes in the form of art, right? If you're a creative in every area of thinking.
Yeah.
And if you don't develop all those other areas, it affects your art as well. You don't have to know it. Most of the suffering that we are going through right now, we don't even know that we are suffering, right? As Nigerians like this, person don't tell me, say, if you dey come my street, take your second left, but that road is smooth. Then if you pass that one, there's one that is not good, but get past that one, the next one is smooth. As I put head for the left, the road where he talks is smooth, I realized that he was telling me smooth based on comparison of the
how bad
one that
the other one is.
not because that road is good.
Ew.
Do you get? So our idea of good and evil, our idea of expressive and conservative is all shaped by our tiny experience in especially after you have sat under parents who did not give you expression in certain things that were not fundamentally sinful, not necessarily awful, right? But who gave you a right to have a voice?
And you are sharing.
I'm saying something, how this your submission now doesn't make sense. And it comes to a point where you have developed, you are now in your late teens, where you are able to contribute valuable insights. Your voice has been,
you don't just
you've
switch
been
those
robbed of
things
them.
on.
It doesn't happen, right? So I think that it's something that we must do. It happens fundamentally on a family level. We see it play out in our governmental institutions where people are demigods. It started from the family.
Yeah.
If we absolutely. So if we learn to give voices, let children speak, let them be foolish, right? If
Make
you
it
don't
a safe space indeed.
if you don't allow them to be foolish, how will you even know? You can have a quiet child. Everybody's praising this person is wise, just very quiet.
You don't really get sense.
You don't know. I don't know what name. You don't know what to give birth to. And not mean something. You get
the density.
And these are the people that will come now and start podcast.
Sorry?
You are now wondering,
Eric,
this person not have, even their parents are shocked.
They're like, what is Busayo saying?
You mean you have something to say?
Stop it now. Stop. This is why I don't like, you are stifling my creativity. This is why I don't like talking outside. Because of people like you.
Bruh.
Let's not do that.
Oh my God.
Abadi, you had a story you wanted to read.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Caught this on the internet, on the interweb. So I'm just going to read a short part of it. So there's a very interesting story here.
Yeah.
This person goes, and I'm going to just read a part of it, of course.
Eric, we have only 3 minutes. You've used 2 minutes to explain this.
It's the fact that you've looked me in the eye. You've called me Eric. But I'm not going to say anything about that.
Abadi.
Just,
I ain't going to say anything about that.
I've been saying Eric a lot.
I was a little shocked though. Please go ahead.
You've been saying Eric a lot.
I can tell it's not my own Eric. I don't know who she has been talking to. I can tell it's not my own.
Abadi, I beg you in the name of God. I'm already going through stress mentally.
Eric, as I was saying, please, this is not my story.
Oh, you don't mean it. I was sure it was yours.
I have the most terrible parents in the world.
No, it's not your story. I know your.
We're not laughing at the story, please.
Yeah.
It's serious stuff.
My dad is a selfish deadbeat who has no idea what's going on in my life. My best memories of him were the countless times he returned home drunk to beat and abuse everybody. In fact, I lost count of how many times he did that. He would be drunk and jolly until he pushed the gates open and entered the yard. And when someone says yard, his face will change and he will become violent and devilish. He will curse everyone and beat everyone who dared to talk back. I remember one time he beat my mom until she became motionless. She lay there like she's dead. And all my 9-year-old self could do was watch from afar because I'm too feeble to interfere. So I'll stop there about the dad.
I think we have enough.
And my mom is not a saint either. She's not even fit to be a mother. She doesn't curse much, but she's the most violent and foul woman I have ever known. Come on, let me actually stop here.
She doesn't cost much, but she's foul.
She's the most violent and foul.
Here's the trauma playing out right there.
Because cursing could be you will never make it.
Right. But she will not say what instead.
You are useless.
What's the difference though?
So you know, in the African context, your mother laid a curse on you.
I think
it's
that
different from she insulted.
I think that,
Okay, so
to be honest, yeah, and this is not me downplaying domestic violence or anything like that, but I think that the sum total of these conversations is that many of us need healing so that we can be able to parent. Some people will pass through stuff like this and decide, you know what, I don't even want to have kids.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But for people who are still, bro, I can tell you for a fact, it shocked me. I was speaking to a mentor a couple weeks ago, and then I realized something about my life, that the way that I have been in relationships, in the past, and the way that I am with the concept of it in my head is primarily because of how I grew up. Primarily because of and for the longest time I didn't even clock it. You won't even know.
Yeah.
Ignorance is so wonderful.
Yeah.
It's like, if we are going to do better, be better, then we are going to have to, number one, have conversations around. I don't think therapist work started as work. I think it started as, I don't think it started as
follow
work.
my guy talk.
Yeah, I just
gonna
follow
start to
my
dey
guy
cry.
talk. And then while I dey follow and talk, the guy they make sense. I can't realize say,
Omo.
this is because of this. So this thing that I'm thinking, the way I think is tied to this my experience, and all of a sudden, it became a thing, right? People had to go to school for it and all that, and it's nothing wrong with seeing a shrink. Absolutely, it's great. I would advise it. If I don't know about how shrinks iron on the mainland. I don't know. You will tell us more.
Very, very effective actually.
On the
and
mainland.
You don't need a lot of sessions.
Did they use cane? The way you take talk about when they
Clients, be doctor,
client go
because
on the methods go they fear me.
They extreme.
and it's not expensive.
Wow. Anywho, I mean,
There's a particular place in Shomolu.
My guy, it's one that is in Makoko.
are you joking, Abi? Are you serious? Because nobody even now.
I will give you the link.
That's okay.
Have you been there?
Does
If
it
you have
look
been
like
there, then I don't want to go there because this is how you turned out,
this is it?
bro.
And I had to pick somebody from there. But you see the gist. I think somewhere to really anchor this as well. There's no gainsaying that we've all had different kinds of experiences.
Yeah.
Some blissful, some not so blissful.
Sure.
And how we interpret, internalize, and move on with those experiences and those emotions as adults is a totally different ball game. Like you said, some people have no clue. They do not realize that they've been hurt and their lives have been impacted by what they saw, because we are visual beings. The things they heard. So like we've said, some people's esteem is on the ground. Some people's voice nowhere to be found. Some people are supposedly introverts, but they are not actually introverts. They shouted on so much that
you just slipped into your shell.
And then now they don't share their opinions. Now the key is, one thing that is common is that some people just move on. Like, you've gotten older, you've gotten your independence, you've gone to uni, you've had baby. You've moved out of the house. You have your own space now. So your parents are not in your face all the time. You're not reminded all the time. You're not in the familiar place. You're not in the kitchen. And you remember when they slapped you. Some people just move on and their parents are cordial with them.
Yeah.
And there's no real love being expressed in those systems. Some other people, however they did it, they're in a wonderful relationship now with their parents. They just moved on. Some people just swallowed. They just like, you know what, my parents did not know better. But some other people, that's not the case for them.
Hang on to it. Absolutely.
And so it's like, it's imperative for us to actually have that conversation with ourselves. And so if we have forgiven these people for the things they did to us.
Absolutely.
And then, because like you said, sometimes they don't even remember that they did what they did. And I was just here thinking while you both were speaking, a lot of what we would have seen our parents do that we said were in love was because of how they knew to do what they were doing. And you see, the thing with parenting as well that we hear very commonly is, I want to be your friend. Not that you get told, I want to be your friend. Oh, let me be your friend. But it's like, please, when you had the chance to establish, you ruined it. So please, kindly avoid me, please. You know, just day or day make I day my day. But you see, at the end of the day, the family we get though. You have family, and family is not like your friend now. It's not if it happen to you now, you're not cool again with us, please. But you see, your family has that house that you go knock, and they open that door for you. Except you've sold family land. But if you not sell family land, you did not do. They would always. I think that we should come to that place of really having that conversation with ourselves as to this experience that I had.
Yeah.
What am I doing with it now? Have I done anything about it? Because if you do not attend to it, the tendency for you to replicate it in your own is so pregnant that people say that what I did not want to be is what I've become. What I did not want to do is what I've become. And so if you do not have that conversation with yourself, to address it, to address the emotions, to think about how this thing may have impacted you. There are people who went to study things that they did not want to study. There are people who they lock them in the house. Because the thing again is like, if you grew up in Nigeria, some places were rough. Some parents locking their children at home was a form of protection. But like we said, that would have had impacts on people in different ways. Some people did not learn how to start to fail early because they did not go out to compete and play with their friends on the streets. And so in life, they're very careful, they're very cautious. They can't take steps because of little things like this. Some trauma, like we said, may not have been violent. Some may have not even have been insultive. You're in a job, you're afraid to move because if I leave, what happens to me?
Yeah.
Your sense of security and stability has been impacted by how you grew up because of, don't go there. Don't talk to this person. So you can't even network in peace. You are afraid of people. You can't interact with the world effectively because of these kinds of things that you experience while growing up. And if you do not ever really have that place where you have that conversation with yourself to forgive, because like you see, nobody came into this world with 5 years parental experience.
Yeah.
Learning on the job.
They were literally learning on the job. And with every new child they got, they started learning again. They might have had some experience, but like you said, every child is different. The experience is totally different. And so that strictness that they might have portrayed, and sometimes they will have gone extreme, let's be honest. There will have been a lot of transfer of aggression. There's a lot of pressure that they brought into the house that they may not have needed to bring into the house. And it's not very common for our parents to apologize. But if you can have a way of if your parents would do that, beautiful. If you can have that conversation with them, say, see, when I was small, this thing that you did to me, I didn't like it. You can have a calm, cool conversation where they can apologize to you. But you see, effectively, you need to be able to address those things that you experienced.
Yeah.
So that you don't become a mirror of that thing. Parents are not perfect, but yeah.
And you will not be perfect either.
Cut them some slack. Have that conversation with yourself. Or talk to somebody so that you can be A healthy version of yourself.
A healthier version.
A healthier version of yourself, I beg you.
Love it. It's a very deep and robust conversation if we enter into it.
There's so much,
and there's so much to even discuss. In the next ones, we'll probably touch on this a little more.
Because there's so much more to say here.
But for now,
yeah.
Thank you so much for coming to the studio, Mr. Julian Ozima. And this is Pastor Semper. And I hope that you guys have received from the food, not just food for thought, hot things where we serve today. Until next time, it's been your guys, Eric, Peace, and the mainland body.
MB.
See you guys.